afternoon. Don't know if you recall, I was out here in this field, which was originally about 10 acres and has been divided down. That was about a month ago, where I found a couple of pot legs. Pot legs look to be 1700s, that sort of date. So this field here was originally part of the field I just was talking within a moment ago, which is through there, and this hedge line was put in, I think, in the line of trees you see on the left there in the 60s. So it was a much bigger field and it's been divided down, which is unusual because normally it's the other way around. But the field I'm going to, which is basically through there, is about 11 acres, and that was formerly 7 and 4 acres. The current permission ends here, but formerly it did. The track, which is kind of still in existence, ran across to the far side of that field in the distance there, which is not part of the permission, unfortunately. First signal of the day is a 16. Turn the Bluetooth off for you. It's quite a shallow one, so hopefully I'll be able to dig it quite quickly. Right, it's in the clod. It's an old piece of rubbish, unfortunately. An old tin. Right, the second signal of the day, much more promising. Still on that line of the track. 19. Real pinger at max depth, so I reckon that's a milled coin. We shall see. Hammered would be even nicer, but it's probably going to be an old penny or something. Now, which half is it going to be in? Top half or bottom? Just break the clod in half. Right. That's in the bottom half, so it's in the bottom 6 to 9 inches, you could say. And it's in here, whatever it's going to be. Bullet or coin? 21. Is it going to be? I don't think it is a coin, is it? It's not in that half. Oh, no, it's neither. It's neither, I don't think. It's a piece of... Oh. It's a scrap of aluminium. God damn it. I'm not doing well at the moment, but only 2 holes dug. Getting the feeling there's quite a lot of trash spread in this field, so I may move on to the next field quite quickly. As you can see, it's subject to muck spreading, which has been done recently, but whether that had a lot of trash in it in the past, I don't know. But I've got something here, right in the middle of that piece, 80%, and it's a 20. So we'll just dig that quickly. Just a buckle. There you go. 20th century type thing. Right, 23. 80%. Quite near to the fence here. Digging it. Ah, what have we got? Looks like a horse brass to me. Oh well, that's something. First bit of non-trash. 18th or 19th century horse brass. Nice find that. Easy to fill your hole in too when it's nice and moist like this. So, there you go. And I've got a 22 here at 80%. That could be a coin. Could be something interesting. Hopefully not another piece of tin can. Oh, is that something? No, it's just the way the mud's been hit with my trowel. Oh, see, so wrong. There it is. It did come out. Oh, we got another horse brass. Or no, we got a badge of some description. That's quite interesting. What does it say on it? That's actually quite interesting. Seems to say something like for home and county, whatever that is. We'll look it up and I'll post it up at the end. Will the sun come out or not? It's one of those. Getting quite a lot of interference by the fence here. I don't know if the fence is acting as a reflector, but in amongst it, through my headphones, it's chirping away. It's a piece of aluminium, unfortunately. Piece of alley. Right, I moved away from that interference to the other side of the field, and I got a 13. Did something modern. Bloody crimp, what do you call it? Electrical. Right, I moved out of that field. There was an awful lot of bits of broken tin and a concentration towards the centre, which because of my limited time scale, I'm having to cover as much ground as possible into this field. So we've got a large area here of pasture. It's a case of, will there be anything better? We had that badge, which is interesting, for home and county, whatever that is. We'll see what that is, probably wartime. But now I'm going to do this. I think it's 11 acres. It had a fence that ran across to that point over there, if you can see it, dividing it into 7 and 4 acres on the 1841 map. Actually see the dip in the ground. I don't know if you can. As I walk along it, it runs to a pond resting behind under those trees there. Quite a sizable pond, one of several on this permission. The first signal on that former fence line is 6. Right, it's flicked out. I'm not holding an awful lot of hope, so it was maybe sitting on the surface. There it is. Tiny bit of aluminium paper, unfortunately. See it? Bloody stuff. By this oak tree and pond, I've got a 21 at depth. Max depth. Going to 23, so see what this is. The batteries on my pinpointer died, which they would do when you're digging a hole this deep, but seem to have found it, and as usual it's off centre with the 12-inch coil on the Vanquish, which has been pointed out as a slight fault, but never mind, it has found me some amazing things. Now, where's my trowel? Oh, it's behind me. So, we'll dig this together. It's about 25 on the scale. Ah, there it is, a pre-decimal. Don't know which one. I'll get the old, get the water out. A coin, nevertheless. First coin of the day. What have we got? I think that's a Victoria. Yeah, I think that's a Victoria Vale head. 1890s again. Cool. What a dig for that, but anyway, always worth it. Right, this one was 10 or 11 down there. It's in the clod. So, right near that pond. Right, I've dropped it. It's very shallow, whatever it is. Oh, it's that thing there. Tiny piece of lead. I think it's looks like a filling out of someone's tooth, believe it or not. Could it be? Could that be it? Or maybe something else. That thing there. If it so wishes to focus, there we go. Right, this one's 6 or 7, down at about 4 or 5 inches. I don't know if you can see there, half the depth. Bloody stuff. Oh well. I like this field, which means you find a veritable signal and it's non-ferrous like this one. 25 at 80%. Oh, it's not that bloody aluminium lid. Oh dear. Hey, focus aluminium bottle lid. Down at about 5 inches. 6, 7 or 8 signal here. Not that. Oh, it's right in the top layer. Oh, it's one of those little 2.2 size cartridge, bullet cartridges. See it there? Right, this was an 8. You see the depth of the hole there, about 10 inches. I found them before. It looked like a bullet, but they got a hole drilled. Right. Another nice signal. Sorry about the distortion. I don't know. I've had this before. It was. I don't know what's causing it, but you probably can't hear it. There you are. 19 to 21, full depth. Right. I'm reckoning on another Vicky penny. Did I see it there? Oh, sorry. Right. I saw something there, obviously. Must have been something that flashed before me. Ah, halfpenny. Which flavours this? Can get a better image later on in the video. Yeah, reckoning that's 18th century. It's not perfectly round either, so one of the Georges, I would say. This one's a 15 or 16. There's the hole. It's in that clod there, which is about 7 inches long. Anyway, there you go. 20 pence. into the next field, see if this brings any more luck, eh? Those batteries dying must have gave me the impetus to move on. If you remember, halfway down that hedge line on the right, or I should say tree line, was where I found that Georgian coin with the letter T etched into it. It's the adjoining woodland. Wouldn't mind going in there, although it's not part of the permission, so... Alright, this was a 12 or 14. Obviously it's quite shallow, as you can see. It's the core of a shotty end. Percussion piece from a shotty. Signal here, 27. Really good signal. Some modern piece of tat. Unfortunately, I don't know what that is. KF461. It's a animal tag, ear tag for sheep or cattle, I would say. Right, 10 or 11. There we are. Chop. Bit of old rubbish. Right, this is a 5 or 6. Been squashed. Don't know if you can see that. I think that's what it is anyway. Right, I've just whipped over the fence. I don't know if you recall me describing this depression in the field just there ahead. Quickly walk along in a straight line. Sorry, not a straight line. This here to the right, see my finger there, was wooded. So all this was wooded up until when the trees were taken out, and to the left wasn't, and then the edge of the wood followed a sort of wavy line like that, which is basically a line I'm going to detect. As you can see, the stubble is still really too stiff to be able to get, and it's shallow, about 30%, which one would expect. Right, this was a 7-2, so bloody well is. Another shotty, okay. And this rooty area under the trees, just stopping for a quick breather, so... Going into one final field now. Right in the last and final field, about 19 or 20. It's in the sidewall, that's why. Right, I'll move that. You can see where it's going to be. Great lump of rubbish, is it? What on earth is that? Oh, it's half a crotal bell. Nice. Oh, maybe this is the field then. The last field, as usual. The last field to think of. Maybe will prove to be most interesting, and that's quite an old one, I think. I'll clean it up and you'll see. I near that crotal bell, but this one's shallow. 33. Only rather, there it is. I think it is. What is that? It's like a footplate thing. Don't know. Bit of aluminium anyway. Aluminium machinery. 22. I'm not sure. Not saying that this one is 30%, but something of some description. What do you call it? An eyelet. Run out of batteries on my phone. It was a 14 anyway. This is the percussion end of probably one of those things that went into muskets. Tiny thing, copper. Yeah, so from down there, I had a 22. Probably it just looks too neat to be old, but I think that's the last hole, unfortunately, to date. One more coin before I pack up and go. Can't immediately see who that is. It was 27 or 28. It may be a modern 2p, I'm not sure. I don't think it is. Right, now for a roundup. 37 targets dug, so a fair old bash, you could say. I've got about 10 or 12 bits of sort of tin alloy. These things were slightly annoying because they kept coming up in the sort of numbers range that one might find a coin in. And of course the 2 shotty cartridges that I found in the stubble, bits of aluminium foil and ring pull. I don't know what this is, I find them quite commonly. Bullet shaped, I think aluminium, possibly a crimp or something. Part of a foot plate, I would say, something like that with BUI on it. This has got Barnstable Devon on it, it's a lid for something. That I think now is a tractor ball joint, control joint, rather than a loom weight, which would be rather nice, but it isn't. That's an animal tag 460. Animal number 460, a bit of a machine again. 2 decimal coins, can't make out, it was a 2p, that coin at the end, incidentally. Queen Elizabeth, and the 20p I can see is 2016. Bit of lead, that thing that I said was a filling, I don't know what that is. That's typically wartime, possibly military, buckle. Horse brass, 19th or 18th century plain. George III halfpenny, I would say, although I can't quite see, you can tell from the coloration and the composition of the metal, it's got a grey tinge to it. This here I said was a Victoria penny, it's not, it's actually a George V. He was king from the beginning of the First World War to the beginning of the Second World War, roughly. 3 2 bullet cases, that's the percussion that was inserted into the end of a musket to ignite the gunpowder. Little cartridges that went in. This I didn't film, it was at the end. It's a Tombac button, 18th, 19th century small button. The middle of a what do you call it? Cartridge, gun cartridge, shotty, sorry. This is probably one of the best pieces, apart from the Women's Institute badge that I'll show you in a minute. It's a broken crotal bell, but it's got an R stamped on the bottom, so we've got a maker's mark. I'll put a picture of that up in more detail, as I will with this, which is for, so what was it, Women's Institute 1920 badge. They were still wearing these at the end of the Second World War, so I don't know when it was dropped. For home and country, not county, home and country, sorry. Brass badge. And that's it really. A bullet connector, we all know what those things are, anyone who's done any sort of 12 volt wiring. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will post the images up now of the better pieces that are before you there.